What's going on, everyone? Good morning. If you're listening to this on a Facebook Live or a podcast, we're talking about something that you probably never heard before. It's called the Come to Jesus visit, and it's something that you do in a chiropractic clinic. And I'm not talking about the evangelical chiropractic clinics that play church music while patients are coming in. That's not what we're talking about. If you do that, I guess that's cool. That's your own thing. But what we're talking about here is we're talking about when patients fall out of line and we got to get them back in line. So first off, if you haven't checked out what we're all about at Move Now University, go to demo.movenowyou.com and you can check out behind the scenes a demo of how this whole program works and how we have chiropractors all over the world literally using this, and we have a bunch of other chiropractors we talk to on a daily basis that are curious to see if this is right for their practice. And so we have support that gets on and talks via text and sets up phone calls, and this is something that we've been doing on a daily basis, and I'll tell you, it is extremely busy. There is definitely a desire for these systems and for better outcomes with patients and for more objective, measurable outcomes. That's what Move Now University is all about. It's about how to put corrective exercise and functional movement into your chiropractic practice and have all the systems along the way. So, what is the Come to Jesus visit? Well, here's what it is. You have policies, you have things that you put in place for your patients so that they can be successful with their care. You covered this with them in detail, they agreed to it, they understand it, and you actually have a written confirmation, and they get a copy of that, and you have a copy of that, so it's scanned into their folder. So you've done your due diligence, you've set everything up to make sure this person's going to be successful with their care, because when someone's going through a very dialed in clinical approach for specific clinical care, for segmental, postural, and movement-based chiropractic care, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of work that you and your team have put in place so this person can really go through a transformation. The person understands it, they want it, they've committed to it, and they're off to the races. So there's some things you got to establish from the get-go so that they're successful, because the worst thing that happens is when someone joins a gym and then never goes to the gym and they're upset because they never get in shape. So what we don't want to have happen is someone start this corrective care program and then do it halfway or not show up or cancel appointments and reschedule and take a 12-week time-sensitive process that really works best when there's a certain time frame that's followed, and then space it out over 15 or 20 or 30 weeks, or go in 6 weeks, never show up again, and then cancel their care and say that they're too busy. Okay, so those are things that you want to avoid doing. So how do you avoid doing that? Well, first, like I said, is you establish a precedence of what's going to happen, what the rules are, how it's for their benefit, and then you make sure that it's crystal clear. We make sure that it's crystal clear by having something in writing, because guess what? If it's not in writing, it never happened. It doesn't matter. That's how it works in documentation. That's how it works in the legal world. That's how it works psychologically as far as how people make commitments. So you do it on paper. So what's the Come to Jesus visit? The Come to Jesus visit is when they challenge the systems, when they make their first mistake, meaning they call in 5 minutes before their appointment, hey, I'm really busy, I can't make it in. And then your staff says, okay, got it, totally understand. Let's find another time later today or this week to schedule you so we can keep you on track. You just started. We don't want you to lose progress. I'm sure you don't want that, right? No, I don't want that. Okay, so let's find another time to get you in. And then instead of the person doing that and getting in and being adamant, they say, well, I'm just really busy. I'll just see you at my next appointment. That's it doesn't work. So guess what happens? The second that happens, we flag their next appointment in white on our schedule, and that means it's a CTJ, Come to Jesus visit. That's something that we discuss in our pre-shift huddle. It's something that our team is prepared to down with them. We have a very methodical, strategic way to do it. We run towards the fire. We don't pretend it didn't happen. And then guess what happens? Sometimes the patient says, you know what? You're right. That time that I committed to is not going to work. Let's change that right now. And then we work through solutions, which is really important. Or they say, yep, you're right. It was just a fluke. I'm not going to do that again. And let's get back on track. And so anyway, from there, moving forward, in the past, before we did these, or at small time frames when maybe we had newer staff and they failed to do these, and then I found out after the fact that we weren't doing them, that's when we had issues. Right, Kaylee? Right. that's when people would do this more often. We'd have more cancellations, more reschedules. You look at the stats speak for themselves. And the first question that I always have when someone is habitually rescheduling or canceling is, did they do a CTJ? And then usually the response is, no, we missed it, we didn't do it. We don't have that response in the last several months because we are fully trained up and we're following our own systems. But it's funny that when you start to see don't work, because they absolutely do work, it's that little lapses of implementing the systems on our end happens, and we can see it in the results straight away. So that's what the CTJ is. We got a patient here ready to go. See, where is it? Where is it? Oh, whoop, whoop. Oh, there it is. So we got a card through the slot in the door. Okay, so we got to go. All right, with that said, demo.movenowu.com. You can watch the demo, 30 minutes pre-recorded, and we will talk to you soon. Over and out.